So this video is just going to be a little intro to slide guitar for people who have little experience with it, and I'm going to be coming at it from a blues or blues rock perspective, so let's get to it. Alright, let's talk about some slides. 99% of the slides on the planet are either made out of glass or metal. I have seen ceramic ones. I tend to prefer the metal ones myself. They have a more surgical, clean sound, and the glass ones, they just sound, well, glassy. But this guy right here, this is a homemade bottleneck. I've got a video on how to make these. Every store-bought glass slide I've ever had got broken somehow, and this one will probably get broken eventually too, so keep that in mind if you're wanting to use glass slides. This guy right here is a deep socket, and it fits my pinky perfectly. That's why it's good to have a set of deep sockets around. You can find one that fits you exactly. This thing is very heavy. It's mostly for acoustic. I don't like to use it on an electric very much because it's so heavy. And we got this brass guy right here. This guy's a little more lightweight. You can use this on acoustic or electric pretty comfortably. You want to go with a lighter weight slide on electric, in my opinion. And that's what I'm talking about here, with just the weight of these slides. And it usually has something to do with the thickness. Then we got this pinky slide here. This is a slide that's kind of less intrusive and you know, not going to get in your way too much. But yeah, you just kind of have to take your pick and find out which one works for you on what kind of guitar, whether you're playing acoustic or electric. It's just a matter of personal preference, really. Now you want to make sure the slide fits snugly against the first joint on whatever finger you're going to be using. If it goes past that joint, it's going to completely limit what you're able to do. Now this one fits my ring finger here. This one fits my pinky. This is why if you go to a music store, they're going to have lots of different sizes that you can pick from. It's kind of like buying a ring or something. And what finger you use for any particular song is just going to depend on the song, really. I switch between my ring finger and my pinky, and on very rare occasions I'll use my bird finger. It's mostly just the ring finger or the pinky that I use. Whether you're playing acoustic or electric, you're going to want a guitar with high action. That can be achieved by adjusting the bridge and maybe the nut. You're also going to want thicker gauge strings than what you're probably used to using. On my acoustics, when I'm playing normally, I use Martin light gauge strings, but when I've got one set up for slide, I'm using Martin medium gauge strings. On an electric, 10s or 11s are good for slide, 11s are better. Pretty much any guitar can be set up for slide, but for my money, nothing beats the distinct sound of a resonator guitar for acoustic work and overdriven humbuckers for electric. With slide guitar, more often than not, we're using open tunings. It makes playing a lot easier. You can do chords here. You can have open D, or you can use open G or Spanish tuning. Now you can change the key of either of those. I like to do that with a capo. Now when you're playing your slide, you want to make sure the slide is directly above the fret wire like that, not in between, directly above. And you want to make sure it's straight too. See what happens when I make it crooked like this? It's just way out of tune. That's really important if you're playing multiple strings at once. Now there are exceptions to the keep it straight rule, especially if you're playing on the 6th string. Sometimes it's easier to just angle the slide. Like so. And I'm always muting the strings with my fingers, the fingers that are behind the slide. That's going to cut down on noise. These two fingers here are doing the muting right now. If you're playing blues, you're usually going to be playing in 1-4-5. So your 1 is going to be your open, and your 4 is going to be at the 5th fret, and your 5 is going to be at your 7th fret. And then you got an octave at your 12th fret. Some things to work on when you're starting out are sliding into notes and working on your vibrato and just finding places on the fretboard that work. And there's some places you can go on the 3rd fret here. You can get away from the 1-4-5s a little bit. And kind of slide into them. So I hope that was a good primer for people who are looking to get started in slide guitar. If you enjoy the content on this channel, please consider tipping me via PayPal or Patreon, and please like, subscribe, and share.